You're listening to the Rock and Roll Show on BRFM 95.6 and also online. Tune in every Thursday night from 7 to 10 p.m. for your share of the hottest sounds around with your DJ and host, Rockin Dave.
Yeah, I mean, you had people like Big Joe Turner. You know, Shake, Rattle and Roll, which Elvis covered.
Oh, my God. Yeah, Johnny Ace.
Yeah.
That's Domino.
Yep.
And by the way, Richard, I managed him.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Came to me at a certain point. He was going through a lot of problems.
Yeah.
And so for like a month and a half, 2 months, I managed him.
Right.
But I had to walk away from it. I couldn't. It's not who I am. I couldn't do that. I was just helping him out. He's a good guy. He's still alive.
He is, yeah.
Richard, I think he's like 84, 85. But he's in a wheelchair and he's not doing too well right now.
No. I mean, actually, talk about not doing too well. I mean, we spoke about this just before we came on air. That we lost somebody from the Elvis world last night. Mr. D.
Yeah, we lost DJ
Fontana.
DJ Fontana was a wonderful, sweet, gentle man. He was 87 years old. Knew him for many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
I first met DJ in 1965. Elvis started with his trio, which was Bill Black, Scotty Moore on guitar, and DJ. And in 1965, Bill Black died. Brain
tumor or something, wasn't it?
Hemorrhage tumor.
And
Elvis, we went to his funeral, and DJ came, Scotty came. But DJ started with Elvis and toured with him in 1954, 55, 56, 57. And of course, when Elvis went into the Army, that was the end of all that. But he was a good guy. And in fact, Scotty and DJ and I spoke to fans over the years at different venues. We know Scotty passed away a few years ago.
He did, unfortunately.
The last time I saw DJ was 2 years ago at Elvis's home in Palm Springs. It's called the Honeymoon House.
Right.
And DJ and I spoke to fans and shared experiences, and we had a great time, had dinner, and he was a great guy. He's a great guy, and it's a big, big loss. Now they're all gone. That whole group is gone.
Exactly.
Now it's in the history books.
I managed to meet Scotty, but I never got to meet DJ, unfortunately.
Scotty was a good guy, wasn't he?
He was a lovely guy,
He was a lovely, very affable, and he reached out and, whatever you asked him, he would, do his best to answer. And I'll never forget it. Remember, it was about 20 years ago, across the street from Graceland, there was a tent. And Scotty, and DJ, and myself sat at a table, and all the fans were there. I think it was so hot. It was over 100 degrees. We were sweating like crazy. And we got to the point we were looking at each other like, oh, my God, how can we do this any longer? But, we did. And,
Right, I've got some other questions for you.
Go right ahead.
Right, now one of them is from Tim Gibson from Indianapolis. Now, he's asked, what is your favourite period of Elvis? And, and sort of...
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Tim, that's a very good question. And my real answer is any moment that I could relive right now with Elvis would be the moment. It doesn't matter. Because being with this man, sharing that space, his presence is so extraordinary. As we talk and as I've been, telling stories, I get flooded with memories.
Of course, I'm sure.
I get a moment I'll never, ever, ever forget. And perhaps this will answer something to Tim and everyone else. we were in Las Vegas. In fact, this is the last time Elvis ever performed there.
Right.
It was December 1976.
Right.
It was 6 o'clock in the morning, and we hadn't gone to bed yet. Elvis's lifestyle was pretty crazy.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So we were at it upstairs. Everyone else was sleeping. He and I were up all night talking. We walked outside on the balcony. It was freezing. Elvis had always wore a blue robe, and he had a hood on. And we walked outside on the balcony, and the sun was just coming up over the mountains. And the first rays of light were striking the balcony. I was looking at Elvis as the light was hitting him. And he and I were standing there talking about his love life, his relationship with women, and certain things that happened over the years. And he looked at me. He said, Larry, I want you to think about something. And I want you to think deeply. And put yourself in my shoes for a minute. Really, man. How could I ever know for sure if a woman loves me or Elvis Presley?
Yeah.
Think about it, Larry.
Yeah.
Think about it. How could I know? How could I really, really know? And he was talking from anguish. He was talking, he said, Larry, I want what you have and what everyone else has. I want a soulmate.
Yeah.
I want someone I can spend the rest of my life with. How can I know for sure?
Yeah.
And here I am. I'm trying to, be the wise one and, engage in conversation. And I said, Elvis, look, from my point of view, you've only had one real relationship in your whole life. He said, who? I said, the world, Elvis.
Yeah.
Your fans.
Yeah.
That's your great love affair. And he looked at me, and this smile went across his face. He said, you know what? That's the truth.
Yeah.
There it is right there.
Yeah.
There it is right there. I paid a heavy price for it, but I wouldn't change anything else in the world.
Of course not.
Because I love my fans.
Yeah.
I truly love them, and it is a love affair.
Yeah.
Maybe someday I will find someone.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that, Dave. And that was a very touching moment. So that answers that question.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he also asked, what is your favourite look of Elvis? Because obviously,
what do you mean?
He changed. Like, you had the jumpsuits in the 70s.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the 50s. You had.
Elvis was very frustrated with making movies. So what I would do in every movie, I would change his hair just a little bit.
Right.
And for those that really pay attention, they could see that every movie, even though the hair looked similar, there was a change. To give it to Elvis for his own feeling. In the 70s, of course, his hair got much longer. Sideburns, a whole
much
new
bigger.
look. And what I would like, what I like so much is this, to really answer the question. Elvis had everything. Elvis had, and I worked with the greatest looking, the most handsome men in the world. I mean, Rock Hudson and Paul Newman and these guys, phenomenal looking people. Elvis stood above the rest. He was a cut above. He was a living masterpiece. He was the most handsome of them all. Not only did he have the looks, the eyes, the height, the voice, the fame, the money, he had the hair.
Yeah, he did.
He had everything.
Yes.
The complete package.
He definitely had that.
And what looks wonderful, extraordinary for me, I would do his hair, which was so easy to do because it was so It did lack body, by the way.
Oh, right, okay.
He had a full head of hair.
Yeah.
It lacked strength.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did was I made my own shampoos,
right.
homemade shampoos for Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
I have been into supplements and vitamins and minerals my whole life.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm coming out in a couple of months with my own line of hair care products.
Okay.
Organic hair care products, and a lot of information about hair and beauty and longevity. Show down the line, you can do something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
But my point is, I would take vitamin capsules and I would puncture them right in front of Elvis.
Mm.
I would squeeze the gel into my shampoo bottle.
Yeah.
Pure aloe vera in, and other herbs, and I would shake it up. And that was my shampoo for Elvis.
Right.
And he said to me one day, he said, Larry, listen, I don't know what is in that bottle. I don't care, man. Just one thing. Make sure of one thing. I keep my hair.
Yeah.
And, of course, I made sure of it. I would massage Elvis's scalp every day. I would get my brush, and I would brush his hair over and over because it's very, very healthy to do that for a lot of reasons. And when my new website's out and all that stuff, it'll be explained. Yeah. At any rate, to answer the final question here, the final part of the question is, when I would do Elvis's hair, what I liked best was, though it looked so great, when he went on stage and started to move, his hair started to break apart. But no matter where it went, it looked good.
Yeah, it did. That's very true.
Even though it was a mess, it was a beautiful mess. It was a mess of perfection.
Yeah. Well, I've had another question very quickly.
Sure.
What spray did you use on Elvis's hair?
Well, there was a product line then that didn't exist, that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh.
It was called Lapinol.
Right.
And I knew the man who manufactured it.
Yeah.
And I introduced organic products in the early 60s. And those products were fantastic. And even though they were so good, I still doctored them up because I knew about vitamin E and I knew it for the hair.
Yeah.
And when jojoba oil came on the market in 74, I got my hands on it. I would use that. So when my products come out, it's going to be based upon my knowledge. And I have discovered certain things with the chemist. We're going to have a line of products that are going to blow people away. At any rate, even the spray that I used, I would put my own ingredients in. Right. So whatever it was, you couldn't buy it anywhere.
Okay. So
however, I did use Clairol dye.
Right.
That was that because I dyed Elvis' hair black.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I should.
What's that?
When I was called in. To do his hair. For his funeral. It's very difficult for me to even talk about it. I went with the fellow that worked for Elvis at the time who passed away, Charlie Hodge. But he wanted to go with me. He felt I needed support emotionally. And we went to the funeral home. And I walked into his room where Elvis's body was lying on the table. I walked up to him. I couldn't even believe this was real. My very first thought was, this is a joke. No. Elvis is going to open his eyes and he's going to start laughing. And it was one of his practical jokes. But, of course, I knew what reality was. And I looked at his hair. And I thought, oh, my God. I didn't bring my dye with me. My coloring agent. We're off. We were on hiatus for about 6 weeks. And I was going to dye Elvis' hair that very day.
Oh.
That was our plan. That was our schedule.
Yeah.
And he had a regrowth of white and gray hair
Blimey.
all over.
At 42.
I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
We have to prepare his hair.
Yeah.
We got to take him to Graceland, and the fans are going to view him, and the family, and Lisa Marie and everyone else. And there was, thankfully, there was a woman mortician, and I said, do you have your mascara with you? She said, yes, I do. I said, please let me have it. Thank God it was black. And it had a little teeny-weeny brush. Yeah. And women that are listening will know what I'm talking about. Today, it's more like a little wand that they used. But in those days, it was only a brush. And I spit into this, and I smeared it on Elvis's hair. I brushed it, blended it in. Yeah. And no one ever knew. No one ever knew.
Very sad day.
Wow.
Yeah. I have got another question for you. It's something that we discussed last night. Now, in the 60s, you and Elvis and some of the entourage were going somewhere with Elvis, and he had a religious experience. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Oh, I remember our conversation. Let me see if I can put this in proper perspective. In fact, interestingly enough, Dave, where I am sitting right now, we're just a couple of miles away from this experience that I'm going to explain about. I live in Arizona, and I live in northern Arizona, which is I'm maybe 20 miles to Flagstaff. And I live in a place called Sedona. At any rate, we were in Memphis, Tennessee, late 1964, and we had to come to Southern California to make a movie. Elvis would not fly in those days. He was afraid of flying. And we would travel cross-country, about 1900 miles. I don't know what that is in kilometers, maybe 500 kilometers. And Elvis had a Dodge, like an RV, mobile home. And Elvis would always drive it. And I always, over a period of years, I always sat right next to him. And we'd travel from Memphis to L.A. Or from L.A. to Memphis. And we would stay at various places, like Flagstaff, or Albuquerque, New Mexico, or somewhere in Texas, Amarillo, wherever. Elvis didn't want to go to make the movie. He didn't like that movie he was going to make. He had to. So he waited to the very last minute. So we got in the Dodge Mobile home and the caravan of Elvis's cars with most of the guys following us with the equipment and Elvis's wardrobe. And I was sat next to Elvis and 2 or 3 other guys sitting behind us. And we traveled cross-country, went through Oklahoma and Texas, New Mexico, and we were up for many, many, many hours straight. And we were in the Arizona desert. And there was just gorgeous, iridescent blue sky. And we could see the sacred mountain peaks of the Hopi Indians. And all of a sudden, Elvis said, "Look, Larry, do you see what I see?" And he points to the sky, to a certain position. And there was a little fluffy cloud with a picture in it, a face. He said, "Do you see that face?" I said, "I do, Elvis, I see it." And I'm telling you, Dave, you or anyone else would see, it was like a face of, It looked like Joseph Stalin. And Elvis said, what is Joseph Stalin's face doing there? I said, I don't know, Elvis. That's really weird. I mean, you see the mustache and, and as I'm looking at the cloud, it started to diffuse, evaporate just into a fluffy, white, pretty cloud. And all of a sudden, I looked at Elvis, and his jaw dropped, and he went, and he gasped. He went, like that. And he pulled the bus over, said, Larry, quick, follow me. We ran into the desert, about 10 feet away from the mobile home. And he looked at me, and he had tears streaming down his face. I said, what is it, Elvis? What happened? It happened to me, Larry. It happened. I read books every day. I pray to God every day. I've been praying for God to touch me, to let me know that He is real. I've always believed in God my whole life. As a little boy, when I went to church, but I've always believed it. I never knew it before, like these books talk about, like all these mystics talk about, and all these gurus and teachers. They have all these great experiences. Larry, I'm looking at that cloud, and all of a sudden, I saw a bolt of lightning, and it went right through my heart. And I felt this love that I've never felt before. And now I don't have to believe in God anymore. Now I know God is real. He lives in me. He lives in everyone. I had the God experience. It was real. God is love. God is love. And he kept saying that over and over. And that's what happened that day. And that really impacted him. It made such a deep impression in him. We drove back to Southern California to his house. And the first thing he did was he told everyone to go home, go to sleep. We have the studio. He said, Larry, come with me, man. Come into the den. We got to talk. We were up for like 2 days straight. We needed shaves. We needed showers. We needed to get rest. Elvis wanted to talk. We went into his den. He said, Larry, I had the experience of my life, man. I'll never be the same again. How can I go make these movies? How can I do this now? I got to do something. Maybe I should join a monastery. I don't want to make these movies anymore. So a lot of things happened after that. But I wanted just to, answer the question. I'm hoping that Greg, and everyone else got a little taste. Elvis, there was so much more to Elvis Presley. Here's a guy, he could have partied every night. He could have done what a lot of rock stars. Elvis read books. He educated himself. He knew about other cultures, other religions, the way other people felt and thought. He was a serious thinker, and all he wanted to do is make people happy. He found out who Elvis Presley really was, why he was given that he's given. Yes, he had a lot of health problems at the end of his life.
He definitely
did. And I must say what I'm going to say next. Because everyone knows that Elvis died way too young. 42? Oh my God, he could be alive today if he would have gotten healthy, if he would have lived a different lifestyle. And at the end of Elvis's life, yes, he did take a lot of pills that various doctors were feeding him. He became dependent upon them. They were poison. They helped contribute to his death, no question about it. But there are other factors. He had a lot of health problems. He had hypertension, and he died of a massive heart attack that was brought upon by pills, by a very fast, insane lifestyle, the poor nutrition, but he woke up to it.
Yeah.
He knew it.
Yeah.
It's not like he didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
He knew that he should not take pills.
Yeah.
He knew he had to eat right and get healthy. He said, Larry, my life is on the line.
Mm. Yeah.
And you and me, and he mentioned 2 other people,
Mm-hmm.
he was going to get rid of all the people that work for him. He was going to fire his manager.
Yeah.
We were going to go to Hawaii for 1 year,
Mm-hmm.
or however long it took
Yeah.
for Elvis to change his life from the inside out,
Yeah.
meaning nutritional habits,
Mm-hmm.
his sleeping habits.
Yeah.
He had to relax. He had to get off all the pills.
Yeah.
He wanted to eat properly, get on a good diet,
Mm-hmm.
and he wanted to stop touring. He didn't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Didn't want to be that guy
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
And he wanted to go back to Hollywood to make movies as a serious actor.
Yeah.
He already knew who his new manager would be.
Mm-hmm.
And we made many, many plans. And I'm not going to say anything any further about this.
No.
Because what I'm telling you is going to come out in a new format and something I'm working with some people.
Yeah.
The future.
Mm-hmm.
It will be announced and it will come out. But
Mm-hmm.
Elvis knew, and his life was phenomenal.
Mm.
And his death is the tragedy. There's only one tragedy, not that he died.
Yeah, of course.
It wasn't tragic that he was dependent upon pills and everything else that went wrong, because most of the things in his life were right.
Yeah.
And he knew it.
Yeah.
The tragedy is that when he realized what he had to do, he said, do it in September. I have contracts and the fans want to see me. He should have stopped then and there. And that's the lesson for me and you and everyone else. We're supposed to do something.
Yeah.
Life, God doesn't care. If you're Elvis Presley or anyone else, there are laws and principles in this universe. If you're supposed to do something and you know it, you better pay attention.
Exactly.
You better do it now,
Yep.
because we never know what's going to happen next. We don't know.
Exactly.
You know, it should have.
Yeah.
If he would have done that, he'd be alive today.
Yeah.
That's the tragedy.
It is.
Not that he took pills or anything else like that.
Yeah.
At any rate,
He was such a.
I'll get off my little.
He was such a
Go on.
talented guy. You know, I mean, everybody.
Oh,
You know, everyone sees the star up on stage and in the films. You know, but it's
That's
just
right.
seeing this sort of insight into the background is it's intriguing. You know.
Quite intriguing. He oozed talent.
Yeah.
He was also a great imitator. He would imitate other people. He would imitate Brando and people, and he was hysterical. He was a funny guy.
Yeah.
He had a great sense of humor.
Yeah.
And here's something that gets to me and to all of Elvis's fans. What a loss if he would have made real movies as an actor.
Yeah.
He innately was a great actor.
Yeah.
And we could see this in his early films,
Definitely. Yeah.
like King Creole and a few others.
Yeah.
And he knew it. He knew it. And this frustrated him like mad.
I bet it did. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there are stories that he was offered parts, like A Star Is Born, but the colonel said he couldn't do it.
Colonel put the stop to it.
Yeah.
Yep, he did.
Yeah.
He did. At any rate, Dave, it's been wonderful being with you.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming
And-
on. Have you got any messages for
been-
all the listeners before you go?
Yeah, sure.
And that is?
What?
Hello?
I didn't hear anything.
Have you got any messages for the listeners before you go?
Oh, yeah. I do.
Yeah.
If you're in a bad mood, if things aren't going right,
Okay.
just sit and listen to Elvis' music.
Yeah, exactly.
Because who he was, people ask me all the time, what was he like? You know what he was like?
Yeah.
listen to his music.
Exactly.
And whatever you're going through, the gift that was given to this man will come through and communicate to you, lift you out of whatever mood you're in.
Yep.
That's my message.
Yeah. Lovely.
Appreciate his music.
Yep.
No one has sold more records and albums. He sold more than the Beatles, Sinatra, and the Rolling, more than anyone who ever recorded.
Definitely.
And there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
There's a great meaning to his life. And he was Elvis, a spiritual person.
Yeah.
And he was a conduit of spiritual energies and of certain realities. His life, his message, and what came through him touches us in certain ways. Listen to his voice.
Exactly.
That's my message.
Lovely. Well, thank you for coming on, Larry.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate you asking me.
Oh, no problem. And we'll have to do
And
this
stay
again.
in touch.
Yeah, we definitely will. And
all right.
Thank you for now. We'll talk to you again soon.
Be well.
Thank you.
Everyone.
All right. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.